Hey, 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 ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to what should be our final match of the day. I thought we were done, I thought we were finished, but it turns out that Mineski and MSIevoGT, an all Pinoy affair, both of these teams are fighting for their lives in the September edition of the GEST International Dota Cup. I am your host, LD of dotacommentaries.com. GoDz was joining me all day long, all night long, I should say. Who knows what time it is for him now, because his sleep schedule is so wacky, so messed up at this point. He's flown for about, 30 hours in the past couple of days. He was tired, guys. He had to go to sleep. But don't worry, I am here to bring you this match. I don't know the teams as well as GoDz. I'll be the first to admit it. But what I lack in knowledge, I will try to make up for in excitement and passion for this game. And what better way to round out our first day of GEST action than with Mineski versus MSIevoGT. Mineski, the more popular, the more well-known team, although at this point, most Pinoy fans will be familiar with MSIevoGT. EvoGT, this is a team, from what I know about them, they're sort of, they're a team that's not as flashy, perhaps, as Mineski, and they've had some decent results. They've sort of been in the running in the group stages, but never really gotten too far, at least not as of late, through the event. So we'll see. Whoops, is my stream still up? Can you guys hear me? Yeah, actually, no, oh, you know what, MSI, they did win a couple of GSTs, but that was a few months back. Since then, they haven't been performing really up to their previous standards. Sorry about that, I thought XSplit was messing up. But now, I mean, if they make it into the knockout rounds, really anything can happen in GST. We've seen that before. The teams maybe not place the best in the groups, but just have a good run after a slow start to the event. Here we are. Anyway, Mineski, let's talk about the draft a little bit. They get their hands on a classic Mineski hero, the lycanthrope for them. Ultimate split pushing hero, just such a powerful hero to have in your lineup. Will he be farming in the safe lane? Will he be in the jungle? You guys probably know, but having not watched as many Mineski games as of late, we'll find out soon enough. They get Rubik, that should be their support hero. I'm guessing they'll run Lycan in the jungle, and then the question is, what do they do with the other heroes? We'll see. TA, Earthshaker, and Puck, the response from MSIevoGT, and I gotta say, these picks, they're pretty strong, but they could work against MSI here because you're up against Rubik. If he steals Fissure, boy, we saw it last game. Fissure is possibly the single best spell to steal in the game. I would make an argument for Burrow Strike maybe being a bit better, but Fissure has longer range, and it's effective even if it's not a very high-level spell to steal. So we'll see what he ends up being able to steal. He is quite squishy. TA can really punish that, but stealing spells like Refraction, the Puck Orb, Illusory Orb, so many ways for Rubik to escape and survive in these fights. Anyway, what do you do now for Mineski? They have the Rubik, they have what will most likely be their support hero. What are their solos going to be? Queen of Pain, Windrunner in the pool. And I really feel, yes, there we go, it's the Windrunner. I was going to say, I really feel you want to get at least one or two of these heroes to pair up with the Lycan, because when Mineski picks Lycan, generally they do rely on those split pushes to kind of control the game, win the game. Rather than going for big clashes, they're on the Sentinel side, so Roshan's not going to be quite as easy to access, but one thing that really helps you get into that Roshan pit will be Lycan just knocking down towers quickly. A Windrunner, a great ally to have. It also denies Windrunner to Mineski, although they probably have their solos in the TA and the Puck, but they could still run Windrunner as a tri-lane here, maybe as the farmer, and having Windrun and Shackle Shot, these abilities are so effective against Lycan. If he tries to go on you, you just use your Windrun ability, and he's wasting some time trying to focus you. If you ever land a shackling Lycan to his wolf, shackling to the trees, that ruins him. It really wastes that ult time. And of course, setting this all up was the Naga ban. If you're going to pick a hero like Lycan, a BKB carry, a hero that relies on his move speed, you don't want to be locked down in place for 5 seconds by that net. A smart ban. And now we enter the second stage of the draft. As we look at MSI's lineup on the flip side, they've got the Earthshaker, they've got their two solos in the TA and the Puck, so they'll most likely be looking towards the tri-lane, the two heroes to pair up with the Earthshaker. And who do you get to combo with them? You have Earthshaker, you have that long-range initiation. I think Chaos Knight has to be a consideration here, but if you want to go Chaos Knight, you would love to combo him with AA or Ancient Apparition, but unfortunately Mineski have banned that out. So what would be the alternative? This is where I would love to just be able to page through the heroes. Oh wait, I can do that because this is Dota 1, and this is awesome. Yeah, maybe Leshrac. Leshrac wouldn't be too bad to combo up with the Earthshaker. I'm not sure. It's a very squishy, frail hero, and that can be trouble up against these. Up against these burst damage heroes, the Rubik, the Lycan, the Windrunner. They can do so much. I think something like Chaos Knight And then maybe any kind of third ranged here, even a Crystal Maiden would be great. And the mono, even if you get a single point in the R, it really helps out TA. But of course with Bottle Crowing, the R is not as important. If you just go for the nukes, a great tri-lane here to have. But she actually gets banned by MSI, so they're not interested in the CM. They just don't want to give away to Mineski. And Darkseer slips through that first stage. You know, it's funny to me because I've been mostly casting Dota 2. And mostly casting Chinese and European teams. And Darkseer is absolutely always first banned or first picked. It doesn't always work. He has lost games in Dota 2, but in the Southeast Asian scene, he's just, you know, especially in Dota 1, he's just not a high priority pick. Especially not in the Pinoy games. We do see him from time to time, but not a top pick. Definitely not a top pick. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that MSI could look to do? I was hoping for a Wisp. Weaver is the final ban. I'm not sure about this ban. I guess oh, you know what? It makes sense. They're worried about. I keep on thinking of Weaver as a side lane solo, or as just some sort of solo. But no, he would really be in the tri lane with the Earthshaker, and that makes it a perfect ban. Really smart choice there. What do they go to instead if they want to run this tri lane? I think CK's got to be on the radar. Maybe something like a Lean and a couple up with it. No Shadow Demon. There's your setup, along with the Earthshaker, and a great defensive hero to have. So powerful to have against the Lycanthrope. I really like this decision to go ahead and pick him up, because if Lycan ever tries to jump on a hero, I talked about Windrun being pretty strong against him, just wasting his time. Well, now you have a hero who can waste his time no matter who he jumps. And that just makes him such a nuisance to deal with. Enjoying my coffee. It is finally morning. You know, it's funny. I changed my Windows clock so that I'm running on Singapore time. I was like, oh hey, it's 3 p.m. and then I look outside and it's pitch black here because I'm not actually in Singapore. I'm not actually in the Philippines. I'm not actually in Southeast Asia. But I felt like I was slightly more of a part of the community. And here we go. It's a Sand King for Mineski. Now they've got the makings. I guess it's going to be a Windrunner solo. Obviously it's going to be a Windrunner solo. And then the question is, do they run the Rubik as a solo? Do they run him as a support? You're up against a TA mid, so who's going to handle that TA? Maybe we're looking at a Windrunner solo. I think out of their options right now, she's got to be the best option. They could try and dual lane, I suppose. They don't have the strongest heroes to do it with. But I like the Sand King pick. It gives them some lockdown. It gives them an initiator to work with. It's a great hero to combo with the Rubik. It also denies the Sand King. Although, to be honest, no, MSI is not going to go for that. They really need some sort of... Well, they could. I don't know. Either way, the Sand King pick, it definitely works for Mineski. It gives them that hero to jump into the fight. I'm getting a little concerned, though. How are they going to deal with this TA? There's no damage over time. There's only a handful of minions in the Wolves. And I just don't see anyone who can dominate the TA mid. They're going to have to win the other lanes, because the way it's shaping up right now, unless they run some sort of dual lane or even roaming gank or something like that, there's just absolute... Okay. There's your third component to the tri-lane. And it's the Centaur. Didn't we just see this exact same lineup? This exact same lineup from Mineski earlier today. I want to say that was our first match of the day. And a lone druid to round things out. Oh boy, classic Mineski, the split push coming. And who better to do it than a lone druid and a Lycan? The late game potential in this team is absolutely disgusting. But before we talk about that, let's go ahead and introduce the players real quickly. RR will be handling the Lycan. I almost called him Shadow Demon, but no. He's got the Coin Blade picked up and the Rain of Protection as well. Looks like he'll probably... We'll have to see. He definitely could go into the jungle with this build. Jay can be playing the Rubik, which means it should be a solo Rubik of some kind. LBG looks to be going mid on that Windrunner. I believe, yes, he's purchased his Courier. Probably going to be saving for that quick bottle after that. No, he's going off lane. Mid, it's going to be Awa on the Lone Druid. Okay, this is... Lone Druid, probably the best hero to deal with TA in the lane out of the ones they have, because you've got 2 damage sources, you're a ranged hero, good base damage, you can outlast hit the TA because you have the bear and the hero to work with. We'll talk about that more in a second, but it's going to be Woots handling the Sand King. And it looks like it will be a support Sand King wards picked up, maybe going to look to do some roaming. MSI running the defensive tri-lane. They've got an Earthshaker, that being handled by... Tara? Looks like Doa is going to be playing the Centaur. Mac's going to be handling the Shadow Demon. And are they going to try lane top? I'm not sure. They're kind of all over the place. The Captain Chemo going to be playing that Puck in the off lane. Really funny guy from everything I've heard. And then, of course, the solo mid will be Doc handling the TA. So it's going to be TA up against Lone Druid. I would say pretty even matchup. It really just comes down to micro of the bear. The one thing about this lane is that both these heroes are fairly gankable early on. I would say especially the Lone Druid can be ganked, and you really want to try and kill him before he gets 6. Once he gets 6, he's going to be in that ultimate form. It's going to be a lot harder to kill him. So that middle lane, I'd say pretty even overall, but maybe a little bit easier to gank early on if we look towards the Lone Druid getting picked off. Bottom lane, off lane, Puck. That's going to be handled by Chemo. Chemo, let's see. How is he going to fare in this lane? More importantly, is Windrunner in trouble? No, it looks like she's okay for the moment. So Puck up against Rubik. 1v1, I'd say pretty even matchup. Maybe slight edge to Rubik, but not overwhelmingly so. With Shadow Demon at support, it's not really enough to kill him. You can telekinesis, but he can still orb out. Maybe if he orbs out and then you telekinesis him at the perfect moment. But really, Puck should be okay. He should get some farm here. On the flip side, in the top lane, there's your disruption to start things off. The stomp to follow. Windrunner in a lot of trouble. Where's that fissure? There's the fissure, blocking her in, and she's got a long way to go if she wants to get out of here. The Windrun, not available. She'll take a fall. First blood claimed by MSI, and boy, did they need it. They're up against the Lycan, who's going to be jungling, who's going to be having a grand old time here. No pressure towards him, so if you're going to run a defensive tri-lane and you're not going to pressure the Lycan, you absolutely must crush that lane, and they're well on their way to doing so. Middle lane, Awa up to 6-3, TA only 2-2, and this is the beauty of running a Lone Druid mid up against the TA. Just send the bear to auto-attack her, especially at early levels. Her attack range is just so damn low. If she tries to run past the bear, she's taking 3, maybe 4 hits before she even gets to your hero, especially without having boots early on, and basically being a melee hero at these early levels. And that means by the time she gets to you, there's no refraction. So she's very, very squishy, easily picked off. This is a lane Lone Druid should have the edge in. But again, once TA gets more levels up, especially once the bottle comes, bottle crowing will be very effective. Why does she have a magic stick? Maybe... Yeah, I'm a little mystified about this one, guys. There's nothing spammable. You can't spam resummon the bear. Not sure what the magic stick does. Maybe it was a mistake as far as purchasing that, but there's just no reason to pick it up this early. Oh, Invis Rune. But again, really, are they going to be able to kill this Puck? I just don't see it happening. He should be absolutely fine, and great positioning from Chemo. Staying back at the tower. Not committing to anything just yet. The one lane to watch is going to continue to be this top lane. There's a ward spotting the pole camp. Uh-oh. Oh, she'll be fine. They go in, but again, you just orb away. Some Woots is actually rotated down here. Not pulling anymore, looking to set up some kills. So far, very, very passive start to the game. Fissure, disruption to follow. Can he get in range? There's the Soul Catcher. Where's that stomp? No. Wise decision there to cancel. Centaur's mana is precious early on. And unfortunately, they just were not able to get in range to set up the combo. If she just sits back, even if they kill her, they're going to have to dive so far. They're probably going to take a lot of tower damage. And that's going to mean they're not as likely to be able to push. Or are they? Is that a perfect Fissure block? It is! The Centaur stuff to follow. There's your Soul Catcher. Wind running out. Disruption saved. And then Cast preventing the escape. And now the double edge. The right clicks. One more should do it. One more should do it. One more should do it. Is he going to get Wind Run off again? No. Not going to. Earthshaker charges through. Head full of steam. Clarity picked up on him. Or popped by him, I should say. And what a Fissure block. Just amazing play coming out from Aura. Really well done. Patience with that Fissure, just barely blocking him in. So overall, it's a Lycan getting free farm right now. It's a Sand King getting some farm with the pulls. They're not shutting down Puck at all. I gotta say, I'm not sure it's enough to kill this Windrunner, because you're giving away basically free farm to a Lone Druid. You're giving away free farm, absolute free farm, to a Lycanthrope. And in the mid game, these two are absolutely devastating. For me, they need to knock down this tower top. Disruption, Soul Catcher again, the Fissure, the Stomp. Where's that double edge? There you go. MSI showing Mineski how they should have executed this very same tri-lane in their own right. Really playing this one to perfection. They're killing her a lot. I mean, if they kill her this often, maybe it is enough. But again, you still have to be worried about the mid game, because how are they actually going to stop a Lone Druid and a Lycanthrope from pushing? in the later stages of this game, those heroes are so tanky. Puck not going to provide too much damage. The one hero who can really lock them down and pick them off quickly is going to be the TA. They have plenty of disables from this tri-lane, so it's not that they can't shut them down, but if you focus a lot on shutting down one, then the other is going to have a pretty solid time. And again, although they're dominating this top tri-lane, they're not pushing the tower. There's no raid of Basilius, at least there wasn't. They're not really interested in pushing it. They just want to farm. They want to try and shut down the Windrunner. But in spite of LBG dying a bunch, he's still level 4. Not quite as good as Chemo in terms of the levels, but he'll take it. He'll definitely take it. And this is where things get really dicey. Awa up to level 6. If he wants that ultimate, he does skill it. Killing him is going to be nigh impossible unless he's walking around at range for him when he gets caught out. Let's actually take a look at how we're doing in terms of farm, and no, please don't fight right now. Okay. 20 and 5 on the... Yeah, looks like the TA as well as the Centaur are getting some good farm. Puck is hanging in there, just getting whatever. 16 to 1 is actually quite good for being in the off lane at this point in the game. Nobody farming exceptionally well, except for even the Lone Druid and the Lycan are not farming that great. They're getting decent farm. What is Lycan actually doing? How is he doing in terms of neutrals at this point? Sitting on 20 neutrals, so he's getting some pretty good farm. Not incredible though. It's not really the fastest start that you'd hope for in a Lycan. But he'll have that Vlad's up soon, and once you get the Vlads, things really do get a lot easier for that hero. For anyone just tuning in, anyone who's wondering what's going on, this is a knockout match. It's both of these teams were tied in the group. Both of them Pinoy teams, of course, Mineski and MSIevo. Whoever wins this one a time for an entangle, that should be sufficient. Fishing for the fissure block, fishing for it, not going to find it. Catches him on the wrong side, he'll escape. But yeah, whoever wins this match will advance to the knockout brackets. Whoever loses... Oh, is she really chasing for this? Needs to go into old form. Can't stop to do it. Salves up. Jukes through the trees. The bear comes back. The bear will save the day. And in the end, the TA, a big dive, but not finding the kill. And that is big time, because now Lone Druid's up to full HP. And can go right back to farming in the lane. Earthshaker journeys all the way mid. Wastes a lot of time. Rain of Hell being passed around. Just sharing the regen. Very smart. Little decisions being made right now. Yeah, whoever gets knocked out goes home. Whoever wins will advance into the knockout rounds tomorrow. So, 3-0 is our start. MSI getting a couple of kills, still not pushing down this tier 1 top. I really would like to see them be a bit more aggressive, but speaking of aggression, it's Chemo. In a bit of trouble. Jay, level 6. Woot's only 4. But Woot's, with the boots picked up, he's getting some farm, he's getting a little bit. In the mid game, we're going to need to see Sandking get some more farm. And that's one thing to be concerned about for this lineup is they all need farm. Rubik, especially in the hands of Jay. We all know Jay. He likes to get his creeps. He likes to get his utility items up. The Blink Dagger, the Force Staff. Maybe even a mechanism. Just items to help his team. Items to let him be more aggressive. Lone Druid, Lycan, very farm dependent. Even Windrunner, especially being played in the offlane as the 3 position hero. Or maybe the 4 position, but either way, she needs some farm. So I feel Sandkid is the one who's really going to suffer. But at least he's got boots. He's got something right now. Haste onto TA. Dot continuing to control the runes, but just not finding the openings to gank. And it's the downside of running the tri-lane top is there's nobody on this bottom side of the map to set up kills. But they want to go mid. They want to set something up. Is there detection on the puck? There is not. Maybe they'll look towards Bane Hollow, look towards that Lycan. Oh, just when you think it's safe, it's not. Comes in, drops the ult, another trap. Woots goes back in Viz, back inside that Sandstorm. Will it be enough to keep him alive? Probably should have stayed there. No, not going to do so. Worried about the Silence and Tangle on 1. Burrow strike down. Woots, what a play. Live, and then the presence of mind to turn it back around. Meanwhile, the backstab coming onto the top lane. Disruption, Soul Catcher, and this is the deadest Windrunner you'll ever seen. Just kidding. No, it's not. Is that another perfect fissure block? Oh my goodness, it is. Fissure gets stolen. Doesn't matter. I don't think X marks the spot. Telekinesis. I don't think you can throw him into that pit, but certainly tried to do so. These fissures are just playing incredibly well. I don't normally go gaga over fissures, but that fissure block right there is just absolutely unbelievably well played. And the presence of mind to stick around there from the Sand King. Not running, Woot's burrow striking back in, just making things happen for his team, setting kills up, even when he's low. And that's Lone Druid, 1,800 gold already, and if he gets up a relic this quickly, I'm just not sure if the tri-lane having a decent time, if the TA farming okay, is going to be enough. Fissure, another fissure block. Oh, no, this time she's able to slip out. Narrowly dodges that one, but narrowly, and that is the key word to keep in mind. Guys, I gotta have a sip here of water. Entangle onto the TA, taking some damage, should be okay. And TA normally is not too bad against the bear unless it's always entangles the trap onto Oa into true form and the double edge. The bear actually has more HP than the lone druid or than the centaur. Can you believe it? I mean, he's got an ult designed to give him a bunch of HP. That's the whole point of Centaur's ult. And still this bear is bigger and stronger. It cannot be killed by a few heroes. You need at least 3 or 4. Speaking of 3 or 4 heroes, we have a big gank train heading up top. Windrunner, LBG, caught out again. Shackle not going to latch. Fissure, patience, cancels it 3, 4 times. Soul Catcher will land. Woot's in a bit of trouble. Fissure's X marks the spot again. What a cute arrangement. The burst damage. They bring down Max in the end. And now Shackle into Earthshaker. Despite just having the worst time possible, LBG is somehow, someway, doing some damage, setting up kills for his team, and surviving, and that is the big thing. The traps come in. TA, where is that TA? Where is that TA? There she is, working towards the phase boots. Where are her items? 500 gold up. Phase boots are available. Shackle, that one's not going to latch. That was ambitious, I gotta say. But now Lycan leaves the jungle, and now things really do start to get harder, because Lycan it's basically been 4v5, and they've been breaking even, if not really coming out ahead. And now that Lycan's got a couple levels, he's got his Vlads up, he can start to apply pressure in one lane, Lone Druid in the other. Here comes TA though, looking to set up a kill. There's the trap, gonna miss, and now needs to back off. Shackle, no, not gonna go for it. Even if you hit the Shackle there, it's just, by the time you get through the refraction, you're probably not getting a kill. Look at the aggression from Doc, but will this be enough to get a kill? The trap comes in. Will we see a Burrow Strike? No, a Sandstorm. Now a Burrow Strike away. Will it be enough? Shackle, unfortunately, a very low level Shackle. Jay, still running, still running. Somebody stop this TA. He still stopped. Jay is doing it. No, just kidding. He's not, guys, but he certainly gave it a great effort. One meld. No, the double edge, and this might be a triple. Are they done yet? Doc will back off in the end. But this is the problem. When you don't have multiple heroes with damage over time, TA becomes a lot more dangerous. They really need the Lone Druid in these fights to make things happen. And right now they just, Lone Druid and Lycan, they just want to farm. Again, although they're finding kills, they're still not doing really anything to deal with the Lone Druid's farm. They're not doing anything to do with the Lycan's farm. And they've gotten one tower, but that is one tower for really 8 to 10 minutes of constant aggression, and we'll have to see if it's enough. But it doesn't feel like it right now. It still feels like Lone Druid Lycan are getting pretty much whatever they want. And even if your supports are a bit under-leveled, a bit under-farmed, or if they die a few times, that's really okay. Doc, 900 gold up, working towards the Blink Dagger. Would be a nice item to pick up. Oh, the Fissure. Ara not going to go for it yet. Oh, another entangle. This Lone Druid has definitely been paying the bookie. Into true form he goes. He'll be okay. Woots comes in. Telekinesis back. And the stomp. Jay! Are you kidding me, man? What a play. But no, he's still alive. He's alive. He's got 20 health. Someone kill that Centaur. Kill that Centaur. Kill that Centaur. Okay, finally they kill him. Man, they had to work for that one. Like an old true form was forced. I'm not sure if he's running from a gank. Yeah, it looks like he might have been running from something bottom. Speaking of something bottom, this way comes Doc, Silence, and the meld. Easy kill picked up. Doc is finding the kill. Score is now 7-5. Pretty back and forth game, pretty even game. The big thing for me remains the fact that they have not dealt with the Lone Druid. They have not dealt with Awa at all. But maybe they will in the mid game. TA can Shadow Demon in a lot of trouble. Disruption, running. Will he get away? Yes, in fact, they might turn this one around. Demonic Purge, trying to steal something, not finding the spells he wants. What a turnaround for Max. Both of these teams, I gotta say, probably the highest level play I've seen all day. We've seen some fantastic games. Mistakes from both teams, but the individual skill, the individual play, so impressive. And I've never saved a game before, so I apologize if I should have been saving them all game long, but there we go. at least one save for the players, so if there is any sort of issue, we'll be able to jump right back in. Well, probably not. From what I've heard, the loading on this client is a little bit dicey, but we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. Haste up on the TA. Doc has been getting all the runes. Now he wants Oa. Immediately into true form. No TP scroll, though. This could be bad. Where's that entangle? The big bad wolf comes in, although he's not too big and he's not too bad right now. He's not an ultimate form. Meanwhile, bottom lane. Chemo gets the tower in the face of two enemy heroes, but he will be punished severely for his insolence. They do pick him off. Lycan is going for a Necro Book, and that really is the Mineski way. Split pushing, just pressure all the lanes, get your carries nice and farmed up. And with the supporting cast, the heroes like Sand King and Rubik, just so much utility to bring to bear. It's not like they suffer in terms of team fights, especially if Rubik's able to steal the Fissure. Even able to steal, let's say, the Puck Silence or the Dream Coil. That's going to help them a lot in engagements. Oh, TA, Telekinesis in, Defensive Fissure. Will it be enough? Meld, Burrow Strike through, Epicenter channel, Disruption. Great play from both these supports. Trying to keep that TA alive, but the Shackle is better. The Shackle will find him, and now the Sandstorm chewing through that Refraction. Tries to run, not able to escape. They had to work for that kill, but they get it, and whenever you get kills with this lineup, with a lone Druid, with a Lycan, you go start pushing towers. Mid's going to get pressured. Maybe not, though. Maybe not. The Lycan is not here. In fact, it's top lane that's getting pressured. Blink Dagger up on Centaur. This is what they were waiting for. Dream Coil catches one. Where's that Blink in? Waiting for the Blink in. Blink in, stops, catches Illyria. Windrunner takes a fall. Now the Fissure block. Jay trying to throw this back, and the Fissure stolen. Might keep him alive. Might even get Chemo killed. Chemo, no, he finds him and he escapes. Oh, the individual play. Everyone in this game is playing so well right now. Kills being traded back and forth. 3 heroes dead now for the Radiant squad, and I gotta say, this Blink Dagger up on the Centaur, this is what we were hoping to see in the first game of the day, where Mineski ran the Centaur, was a quick blink, and then just using that along with the Fissure in tandem with the Shadow Demon Disruption to set up kills all around the map. But we didn't really see it. It was a Centaur who didn't have as many kills early on. More importantly, is a team that just didn't have a good start, but if you get that good start, this hero jumps in, he stomps, and good luck focusing him. Between Return, or that Thorn Zara, doing a decent amount of damage later on in the game, and even now, he's so tanky, especially with Vanguard, 1600 HP. You don't want to focus him, but because of Double Edge and the spammable AoE stun and the phase boots to stay on top of heroes, you really can't ignore him too easily either. TA not actually going to find a kill here on Lycan, not even close to doing so, but we'll force out the ult. A small victory, but one that she'll take nonetheless. Wolves not being microed, Wolves will be fed over to the TA. Not a big deal. Lone Druid, in the meanwhile, has picked up the Relic. Stomp in, Blink, wants this kill. Where's the backup, though? Where, oh where is the backup? Sand King gets slowed, Burrow Strike through, but I don't know if this is going to be enough. Yes, Fissure is stolen as well, but TA blinks over the Fissure, past the turnstile, thrown back into it, and what do you know? Another entangle for Oa, because he hasn't gotten enough already. Now they go towards Jay. Jay drops low. Jay takes a fall, and now the power shot. They get that power shot. I believe it hit 3 heroes. Puck orbs in. Where the hell did that puck go? Oh, TA wants to try and find Woots. Woots is not in a good position at all. He's got nothing. Woots is down. Woots is going to take a fall. So much action. So many kills. And I love the way that MSI are playing this, because if they just sit back and try and farm, if they just go for a few kills here or there, or very organized kills like smoke ganks, that's not going to be enough, because then, like in Lone Druid, they just calmly go up top or bottom, start pushing, start split pressuring. But if you're just playing this very chaotic, messy way of constantly diving, constantly being aggressive, I mean, there is some reason, some rhyme to the chaos, but mostly it's just, let's be honest, it's a little bit chaotic, but that works for the team that has a Puck with a Blink Dagger, that has a TA with a Blink Dagger, that has heroes that with spammable, strong disables, like the Centaur too. I mean, 3 Blink Daggers for this team already. Oh no, Chemo gets picked off. I guess he got entangled there and just burst down too quickly, not able to actually orb out. Maybe wasted his orb, unfortunately, and, well, we'll have to see. They want Windrunner, blink in, and the stomp. Windrun is online, that's why they're not actually auto-tagging it. Centaur thrown up in the air, focusing him. Gonna take forever and a day to kill him off, but the Necronomicon doing what it can. This is another great item to deal with that TA. Will it be enough, though? Big jukes from Jay, big jukes from Jay, phases back through, runs back in, and runs back in one too many times. He will go down, but now TA is not in a good position. Not at all. Doc doesn't want to be here, man. Oh, something else I should mention is the Necro 3 will be very nice to do with the TA later on in the game. Having that detection. It'll be a pretty effective item pickup. The blink, is she going to be able to blink away? No, they find her. They find her in Sandstorm. That will chew through the refraction rather quickly. She tries to run. Chopped to bits. Clubbed to death, really, by RR. And now they can look to pressure. They can look to push this lane in. All the while, Lone Druid getting his farm on. He's got the Relic up. I mean, he's had it for a while. There's got to be a Radiance on the way. That is, in fact, the Radiance. Although, for some reason, it's going bottom. Maybe gonna. Oh, okay, he's TPing bottom. That would make sense. So they pressure top lane with a couple of heroes. A little scouting being done by Woots. Not too far off a Blink Dagger, to be honest. The Wolves driving Doa back, denying that Blink Dagger. And this is a cute little trick you can do with the Wolves. As long as you're auto-attacking a hero with Blink Dagger, it will be constantly disabled. You can see it was just disabled there, which means they can't really jump in. They're buying time for the Lone Druid. And it's going to be their hardest carry, I believe. This is the hero they want to get the biggest out of everyone on the team, even more so than RR. Lone Druid just such a strong presence in the mid to late game, and Radiance is really going to hurt TA. But here comes Doa. Uh-oh. Blink in. There's your Dream Coil. Catching one. Stun. But is RR the one that you want to catch? I'm just not sure. And Doa, as tanky as he is, will take a fall. Burrow strike through. Telekinesis back, and Max is now the one in trouble. That Wolf is angry. They're fighting without the Lone Druid, and they're getting so many kills. Mineski just absolutely overpowering this lineup. And now Shackle onto TA, Echo Slam from Earthshaker. They want Woots. Is this the big turnaround? They get a couple. They're not done. I believe this puck might have bought back. Phase shift out. Burrow strike in. Trying to run. Trying to survive. One more auto attack will do it. Juking. Juking. Where's that fissure? Where's that? He doesn't have mana for the fissure. Uh-oh. And a TP out. Are they all going to live? No. They find Woots. Double kill. I want to say someone bought back there. I believe the puck might have. Maybe I'm crazy. Either way, 3 heroes dead, but again, they are fighting without the Lone Druid. And that means this is the Mineski way. You split push, you pick up these heroes. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This could be trouble. This could be big, big trouble. The bear block, no, faces right through the bear. Stun, TP out. That is a very dead bear. Possibly the deadest bear you've ever seen. Centaurs don't like bears. Who would have thought? Oh, man. I see someone mentioning Roshan in the chat. Are you kidding me? We've had like 1 minute to breathe this entire game. When is a team going to find Roshan? Both teams, especially because the team that could do Roshan more easily. Well, right as I read the chat, someone saying that a minute ago in terms of the game time, they are going to go into Roshan. It's a great time to do it because well, everyone on Mineski either dead or just respawning and not in position to stop it. It's the dire advantage, and TA so good at knocking down Roshan quickly with Refraction to be big damage, and Meld for the minus armor. Although she's not using it right now, but it doesn't matter. Aegis, who does this go towards? Does it go towards Doa? It does go towards the TA. Although they get an Aegis, the clock is definitely still ticking right now. Lycan and Lone Druid will out-carry TA in the mid to late game, unless they just get the pickoffs. If they're fighting in a full 5-on-5 engagement, eventually they just get too big and it becomes the unstoppable force that you just cannot slow down, that you cannot deal with. We're not at that point yet, but we're not too far off of it, to be honest. Lycan, level 2 Necronomicon, getting close to level 3 one. It's actually a great time to do an item check, as nobody is in danger of dying. And what are we looking at? 3 Blink Daggers, no, 4 Blink Daggers. So Earthshaker finally picks his up. This is not greedy. This is not a mistake. They need all of these blinks because they have to continue to find picks. They have to continue to chase. Mineski is a pretty difficult to kill lineup. They need to be able to jump in and instantly kill heroes, and then just go from there. Blink in, stun. Speaking of instantly killing a hero, that one was easy. Sand King goes down before I even have time to blink. Oh, I'm so corny. I can't help it, guys. I really can't. But here comes the push mid now. They find a kill. They want to pressure. And there's not really much of a split push going on. TA looking to find some solo kills top. There's your trap. Jay's going to TP out. Ah, Doc is caught. No, okay, he's just body blocked. That would be bad if he's caught. Blink in again. The Centaur doing work. Silence. Orb. Do they drop the Dream Coil here? They do. The fissure as well. They find 2 kills, and the bear, meanwhile, is being the most annoying bear in the world. just pushing that bottom lane in. But still, it's only creeps. There's no hero there. And the tower will take damage from this. It's not going to drop. They can get a tier 2 if they want. Maybe. Maybe not. In comes the lone druid, chewing through the refraction. The trap slowing it down. Will they turn around to fight? Not so sure they should. Not so sure about that. Even the poison being spammed, I feel that's a little bold. This bear don't care about your poison. This is a very strong bear. Look how big he is. Blink and stun, gonna miss the bear with a drive-by. Another blink in. The bear will take a fall. It should be resummoned momentarily. Indeed it is, but now the bear's on cooldown, so maybe they'll look to be more aggressive. The one thing you gotta keep in mind, it looks very good for MSI right now, in the sense that they're up 21 to 12. They're the ones being aggressive, they're the ones finding the kills. But this lineup is running around as 4 and 5 all game, so that's why we see the levels looking pretty good for Mineski. Considering that they're behind, considering that they're on the back foot, they're still, everybody's getting something, everyone up around 12. The levels overall are favoring MSI Evo, but not as much as they would be if they were all farming individually, as well as getting these kills. They are devoting 3-4 heroes to most of the kills, so they're ahead, but not as far ahead as they could be, not as far ahead as you might expect, and they're definitely stronger right now in a 5v5 clash. I just don't see Mineski winning it. But if they get up that next level of items, maybe if Sankey gets a Blink Dagger, then they can look to turn things around. They're not just there yet, but this is... We saw it earlier today. Sometimes the split push is just too much. Calm before the storm, guys. Calm before the storm. Spirit Bear with illusions that have the radiance effect, I do believe. That's pretty cute. I'm wondering, what does the Centaur go for now? And our question will be answered. It's a Mithril. Is this a BKB? Kind of an odd item. Well, we'll talk about it in a second. Fissure, no, gonna be dodged and on the blink away from Puck. Midas! This is just, we saw it before. This is how you counter the Necronomicon. But we haven't seen really any indication of mass Necrobooks right now. It's just the one. But hey, it gives Chemo some extra levels. He's farming pretty well. He's already got his core items up, so why not? This makes the Lycan very ineffective. He really relies on that melee Necronomicon for the last will to punish the AoE. And you won't take any damage. We talked about it earlier. But here comes the bear. Gonna be a total nuisance. Orb away for Puck. Trapped in the trees. 4 staffs forward. Chemo is just playing exceptionally well right now. But he's still being chased down. How far will they dive for this, guys? Probably to the fountain. No, not yet. Not yet to the fountain. Blink Dagger up on Sankey. And here comes the wraparound. Here comes the gank. The Wolf scouting everything out. Desolator up. This is the time to fight. This is your big damage item. This is how you deal with that bear. One meld. Probably going to be enough to kill it. The trap gets dropped. Telekinesis back. Bear should be able to be resummoned if necessary. Ward gets removed by the Necro 3. Where's that Midas when you need it? Blake in. Fissures. Crisscrossing. And the Shackle as well. Brad Ward and the Centaur just being rendered completely ineffective. Entangled. Brought down. Mineski finds one. And now it's going to be a TA on the back foot running away. The refraction really isn't going to do much for her now because of that Radiance Burn. She's thrown back in. Burrow Strike, defensive disruption. Can she blink out after this? No, not yet. Might be able to escape. Not with the Radiance, though. Not with the Radiance. Oh, this is bad. Loses the Aegis. Probably going to die as well. Mineski just showing their experience here. The veteran poise. This team, they have been around for ages, and they find the kill. Again, they were in a bad position, but they just have so much damage from the Lone Druid and the Lycan. And TA is, at this stage of the game, generally she falls off because... In any case, because in larger clashes, there's more damage sources, there's more ways to remove the refraction, but especially in this game, when there's a Radiance, when there's a Necronomicon, when there's so many summons, illusions will get destroyed. Sankey blinked in there, but will be forced back, and whenever this team wins a fight, they do some big damage towards the Iraq. Roshan not back up yet. I believe he will be respawned in the next minute or two, I want to say. Shackle is going to latch on Chemo. They don't yet claim racks, they don't yet completely breach the high ground, but we see the potential for this lineup to do so. And Mineski, after winning a fight, after getting a couple kills, they waste no time in smoking up again. It's going to be a haste rune for LBG. Woots TPing bottom. Blink Dagger already picked up as mentioned. What will he go for now? What is the next item for him? Sitting on 700 gold. Maybe just something like a drums or a vitality booster, just anything to tank up. MSI is all about the burst damage. They're about finding those quick kills with the blinks, with the chain stuns. Oh, and this smoke gank, it is going to find him. Centaur, stomp, and the double edge. Fissure 2. Where's that soul catcher? Demonic Purge. Again, they want to find the kill and they'll do it. But it takes 4 heroes. And while that's happening, Sandkeen farming over here on the bottom lane. Windrunner gonna be cleaning up those neutrals and Lycan in the jungle. So they're finding kills. But Mineski, they're okay with, they know, with the way this team plays, they know they're going to lose a couple of heroes here or there. The way this lineup runs, you know you're probably going to get picked off. MSI went for a lineup with a lot of ganks, a lot of kill potential. So the way to play it is exactly what we see them doing. Is yes, you can kill a couple of us here or there, but we're going to farm all over the map, and we're going to punish you for grouping up as 3 or 4 by doing so, by pushing those other lanes, and bottom lane now pushing heavily. Rubik's got to be careful, Jay. Got to be very quick on the trigger here with the Blink Dagger. Probably wants to steal something. What will he get? Does he have Fissure? God, I wish I could see right now. Oh, there comes your Fade Bolt. Just doing some damage. Lycan maybe looking to finagle his way in. The tower, the glyph is used. The tower will take a fall. Not going to be denied. Fissure getting dropped out. Just a defensive Fissure. Now they look to back off. And actually, they get the tower and really nothing in return. Unfortunately, with the low druid, one of their 2 primary split pushers dead, there's just not too much to follow up. Lycan can try and push, but he just wasn't in position to do so. So because of that, it's just, this game is anybody's game right now. I think Mineski, there's more ways for them to win this game. They can turtle, but if they find picks, then they can push right off of that. The only way that MSI wins this game, in my opinion, is if they find picks and find multiple picks, because otherwise, every time MSI gets a kill or 2, Mineski's just going to counter push. So I think there's a little bit more pressure on MSI, but they have some decent late game heroes. Centaur is pretty fearsome late game. I mean, not the strongest late game hero, but he's just so tanky. A spammable AoE stun, a lot of burst damage to work with. And with this many blinks, if you start winning a fight, you'll never stop. You just keep on snowballing all the way. They're grouped up, but not really. This is a smoke gank, and I love it from Jay. A gem on Jay. Getting that map control, looking to D-ward. This is why he's probably my favorite player from the Philippines. My favorite pinoy player. So, great presence of mind. I should stop fanboying. But yeah, getting the gem, getting that map control back for the team as much as possible. Although, he chooses not to D-ward because he wanted to try and set up a kill. And honestly, these wards are irrelevant right now because they already know where you are. So he doesn't even care about dewarding them, but he'd go back for it later on. Shackle, but you don't want to initiate on him. Looks like they're just going to try and siege this out with the bears and the wolves, all the animals, really the whole zoo being thrown at MSI. I would howl right now. Ward on the high ground wasn't spotted, will be dewarded. Oh, another shackle. Fishing. Immediate deward. Max is prepared, Max is ready. And Mineski wants to breach high ground, but it's very dangerous. It's very difficult to do it, because if they catch you, a couple of you in a dream coil, if there's the chain stun to follow, the burst damage coming out, they can just overwhelm you. And if they get a couple picks, this lineup, as mentioned before, they'll chase you to the end of the earth. They have so many blink daggers. Oh, shackle on 2. This could be it. Defensive disruption. And actually, oh, who actually took a fall there? Doc in the back lines picked off Jay. That is a big pick. The Rubik out of the fight. That means the push is over. How do you hit a shackle on 2 and then get your team is the first one to have a hero picked off, but they might get the bear as well. That would be another big thing to kill, and they do. Shackle on 2 by LBG, and then your Rubik just gets melted down and spit out for breakfast. I can't believe it, guys. I cannot believe what I'm seeing right now. Normally when you see a shackle on 2, that's where you just win the fight, get the racks, and win the game. I would say in 80% of games in that situation where a shackle hits on 2, that's what happens. But TA is just so much burst damage, and they didn't knock down the TA. Unfortunately, there just wasn't disabled to deal with her. So the fight goes the other way. And now it's another Aegis. Now they have a little bit more comfort zone for MSI. But I feel with the TA with this Aegis, if she dies once, she's probably dying twice, because they have so many ways to remove her refraction, so many ways to prevent her from using that Blink Dagger. So it's to me, the Aegis is more important because you're denied to Mineski. I don't know that it's going to be a big difference maker for MSI. They can definitely win this game, but if they're going to do it, I think they win it because Doc isn't dying. He's just getting the kills. This game, if there was a gold graph, it would be almost dead even right now. Item progression, BKB is up on the Centaur. Not really the best game for BKB. There's a lot of spells you don't want to deal with. But at the same time, you're still up against a Lone Druid and a Lycanthrope, so they have plenty of physical damage. Entangle to go through that BKB. You can remove it once, and honestly, if Centaur gets entangled, that's where he dies. So in that sense, it's a good item to pick up. You get entangled, then you pop your BKB. They're going to force some TPs back. The split push is not coming fast enough. The Puck with the Midas getting a lot of items. It's a Necro 3 of his own, so not only is he going to shut down their Necro 3, but now he's going to pick one up of his own. Very cheeky play. I love it. Sonic Trap is stolen. Not the best spell, but a decent one. Trap gets dropped. Blink in, telekinesis back. But Doc's got the Aegis. Do you really want to focus him? No, they don't. Just trying to drive him back. Just trying to slow things down. Oh, Epicenter, but only catches the Centaur. I thought the fight was over, and of course, whenever I think the fight's over, that means it's not. The trap's getting dropped. Jay giving chase. Disruption. Max cannot really do anything. He's probably going to go down here, and everyone else will TP away to safety. Yep, so it's just going to be Max taking fall in the end. Shackle Shot, Burrow Strike. They kill him, but of all the heroes to kill in this game, he is going to be the least important for this squad. So hard to say who's going to win this game. I mean, this is probably the closest game I've cast today. Maybe the closest Dota 1 game I've cast in the past couple of months, to be totally honest. Both teams, they have their strengths, they have their virtues. I gotta say, the later this game goes, I still think it's going to be MSI who are just on the back foot and have to make things happen. The item progression, they've got all their Blink Daggers and their 4 Staves up. That's nice, but there's no secondary damage there. There's just the TA. And TA, at this point in the game, she really does start to fall off, especially in these larger engagements. With all the utility items coming up from Mineski, the Blink Daggers, the 4 Stabs of their own, they can kite this Templar Assassin. They can also pick her off quite easily. Really disturbing lack of items for this Lycanthrope, though. Generally, the later the game goes, the team with the Lycan Low Druid is going to be able to outcarry the TA. Where are the items? Is there an Assault Cuirass up on the Bear? There is, finally up, 36 minutes in. Heavily delayed, and that's just because when you pick a hero like Lone Druid, he's going to be running for his life up against this lineup, so it's late, but it's still, I feel it's early enough, and Assault Cuirass, really good item to have against TA, all her minus armor, even with the Desolator, mostly negated, mostly dealt with quite handily. It also makes your team hit harder, and if we actually look at Mineski's lineup, it's a lot of heroes with low armor. In fact, they have the only agility hero they have is the TA, and her agility gain is decent. It's not out of this world. She's not anti-mage. She's not a phantom assassin. She's, I don't want to say squishy for an agility hero, but not the tankiest. And so that Assault Cuirass is going to do wonders, especially with the Radiance on top of it, and the Bear's naturally high base damage for just chewing through her. This lineup has to find pickoffs right now. MSI, they need to find some picks. They need to, because once Mineski group up and just start pushing, you can try and initiate in, but killing more than 1 or 2 heroes, just, it seems so daunting right now for this team. Oh, they can find picks, or they can just split push, and apparently that's what they would rather do. It's a game of chicken, guys. For anyone who doesn't know, the game of chicken is, if you're both in cars, you and a friend, you both start driving towards each other, and whoever turns away first is the chicken. Are these 2 cars going to collide head-on, or is one team going to turn away? So far, both teams are choosing to turn away at every turn, but at some point, you got to figure, those cars are going to crash, or someone's going to refuse to back down. And if the other team swerves aside, they may just end up costing the game. It's late. I have no idea where I'm going with this. TA wants to gank the Bear, but this could be the opportunity. The bait, look at the positioning. Oh, will it be good enough? Will it be good enough? Telekinesis, blink in, Dream Coil, catches 2, immediate phase shift, Trap gets dropped, Wind Run still active, Disruption, BKB up on the Centaur. The first kill goes the way of Chemo. Where's that Echo Slam? Oh, it looks like Epicenter! Epicenter catches the TA, but she is okay for the moment. Now the Bear comes on her. BKB has been used. Really chasing that kill. It's going to get mauled to death. That is one angry, ferocious Bear. And Lone Druid picks a kill. 1 for 1 so far, but with TA going down, probably going to go down twice. Just getting mauled to death. Cannot do anything. You cannot fight this Bear. You cannot run from this Bear. You can do nothing but die to this Bear. And that means an Aegis down. That means a TA down. And somehow, LBG lives. Another Midas. This is a lot of... Guys, there's only one Necro book. I wish I could explain this item to you better, but I'm just not sure. Maybe they just want to try and take it late game, but going late game is going to be... I don't know how well that's going to work. Lone Druid taking a lot of damage. The bear, I should say, but he'll be okay. And now it's the Sand King Woots. Burrow strikes through, but gets caught, and not going to be able to escape there in the end. All the while bottom lane was pushing in. Okay, I want to say like 6-7 heroes died there. No towers took any big damage, just a little bit of damage onto the tier 3. No racks fell. It's almost like the fight didn't happen. We're 40 minutes in. Might as well be 80 minutes in at the rate this game is going. I just don't know if this is going to end. And I don't want it to end either. This is such a fabulous game to cast. Stomp, catches out Rubik. Will they get in range in time? Where's that Dream Coil? Blake's in! Doa does it! Hasted J is still a very dead J with that kind of chain stun. Alright, it's a good time to look at items again. We haven't really looked at farm at all this game. There's no time to. There's really not. 200 on Chemo. You wouldn't know it. You'd think TA was the one position. You'd think TA was the carry player. But they're giving the puck the farm, and he is the best anti-pusher on this team with the spammable nukes, with the Midas to do with the Necronomicon minions, a Necro 3 of his own. And they're on the offensive. They knocked down the tier 2. At this point, I think if you're MSI, you try and angle for that next Roshan. You avoid fighting right now, because why fight when you can just ninja a Roshan and then have a much better chance? BKB up on the Lycan, another big item for him. Although very late, he's so delayed, but it's still a great item to pick up. Not really going to help you against the TA, but everyone else, there's just so much chain stun. If you don't have a BKB, you're not doing anything on the Radiant side. You're just not. There's too many stuns, there's too many disables. I am not GoDz, I am LD, but yes, I am tired, guys. It's been a long day. Yeah, GoDz is not here, if that's what you're wondering. He did go to sleep. I think he's watching StarCraft now or something. Maybe watching this game. I mean, if he's not, shame on him, because... My god, what a game. Wish he was here to help make sense of the mass Midas. We talked about it being good against multiple Necronomicons, but there's only one. It's, you know, maybe they're just angling for late game, and if that's the choice, well... It's getting towards late game. Normally in a 40-minute game, when you have heroes like Rubik, Shadow Demon, Windrunner, and Puck on the field, especially the Midas on Puck, you'd expect to see a Scythe of Ice on someone. But apparently everyone's allergic to it. There's an Ultimate Orb. That might be working towards the Scythe of Ice. And that, to me, is just going to be the one really big late game item for the squad. You jump in, you Scythe of Ice anyone, you pick them off. Ideally, you pick up the Lycan before he's able to ult away. Maybe you catch the Lone Druid just out of position, lock him down, pick him off. Or, even easier, the supporting cast. We've seen they don't really need a Scythe of Ice to kill those supports, but with one, maybe you get an extra kill. So that would be a big item. That's probably the latest this team goes, is just getting multiple Scythe of Ice out. But they are a bit a ways away from that. Doc, 3,400 gold up. What do you go for here? I'm thinking Butterfly. I'm thinking that's probably the best item. Manta style would be quite solid as well. Manta helps you deal with the entangles. You can Manta out of entangle. You can BKB out. Now you have two ways to deal with it. But I think Butterfly, just to help deal with the raw physical damage, is Sand really going for this? No, not going to. But thinking about it, man. Definitely thinking about it. Give him credit. Woots is a persistent one. Oh, Woots. Woots. No, he's gonna blink away. Did they not see him there? I'm a little surprised they didn't at least make a go for him. Oh, Rubik drops low. Jay almost took a fall there, but just not quite enough in the end. More gold into the pockets. Our Chemo up to another 3,500 gold. That's got to be a Scythe of Ice. In fact, here goes the courier. Scythe of Ice is going to be picked up by Chemo momentarily. What does the Centaur go for now? He's got a Force Staff. That was his next item. I don't even know where you go from here. I mean, honestly. Maybe you look towards an Assault Cuirass. I think that might be the best choice this game. Shivas would not be bad. They're going to try and sneak a Roshan. Mineski frantically scrambling in that direction, or maybe not so frantic. Yeah, they're probably going to give this one away. Now it's an Aegis and a Cheese. Yeah, they're definitely giving it away. Who am I kidding? Was there a wolf in the area? I think the wolves were trying to deny that. Not going to in the end. Really taking their time on this Aegis and the Cheese. TA picks up the Aegis and the Cheese. So much being invested in this TA. They know she's the primary damage dealer. Now they look towards the Sand King. Blink in. Where's that Dream Coil? There's your Sight Device. This is a big pick and an easy pick. I barely had time to cast that one, guys.
A town is under siege.
So they find that pick. Is their buyback on Woods? 1,200. And how much gold does he actually have? No, he can't buy back. But at the same time, they want to push, but here comes the split push. The Lone Druid, Assault Cuirass, and a Demon Edge. Oh, this could be an MKB. Most likely will be. That's a big item to have up on your bear. If there is any evasion, that'll deal with it. Not yet, but you got to figure TA's thinking about towards it. And MKB is always just a great item. The mini bash is pretty nice as well. Just give you a little additional burst and a tiny additional ability to chase. But here they come. They're grouped up. 5,000 gold of Doc. When is he going to spend it? At this point, I think he at least gets some Boots of Travel. And then you still have plenty of gold for buyback. You've got Aegis and Cheese. You really don't need to save your gold. You have 3 lives. If you can't kill them in 3 lives with another item, I don't think a 4th life is going to make the difference. But what do I know? What do I know?
The player's forces are under attack.
I said 80 minutes. I'm not sure it's 80 minutes just yet, but it could go that way, guys. It really could. I actually think it would be really interesting if someone just basically just took an image of this map over time, just a video recording only of the mini-map, and just watch the movement patterns of both teams. You'll just see constantly 4 or 5 heroes, almost like a hive of angry bees for the Scourge squad, for MSIevo, just constantly grouped up together, setting up kills, but always doing so 4 or 5. And then for MS Mineski, you're going to see the blue dot as well as the yellow dot, the Lycan and the Lone Druid, sort of doing their own thing. The other 3 occasionally working together, but just very different movement patterns for both teams, I gotta say, and it fits their playstyles, it fits their lineups. Both teams trying to execute different strategies, but so far nobody truly gaining the upper hand. I cannot believe it, but tier 3s, yes, all very healthy. No, this is not a bug. No, this is not a bug either. It is true, apparently you can have a Lone Druid, you can have a Lycan, you can have tons of items up. Necro 3, is there something on the courier? Nope, that's it. He really... This Lycan is very poor. 50 minutes in, you'd often see an Abyssal Blade, Heart, all kinds of big items being picked up. But he's just been dying so much. He has not been farming nearly as well as you would expect, and also, let's be honest, Lone Druid has taken a lot of that farm.
The town is under siege.
Working towards the MKB. This game has been going so long that the Midases are really starting to have an impact. Look at the item progression for these heroes that have a Midas. The Puck has the Sight Device, of course, and sitting on another 1,200 gold. And the Centaur as well. The Midas is really paying off, and it helped halt whatever push would have come from the Lycan otherwise. No, this is not a bug. This is a live game, guys. Your eyes are not deceiving you. This is Mineski versus MSIevoGT. For anyone who's just tuning in, both of these Pinoy teams are tied up in the group, I believe 2-2. Are they 2-2? I want to say that's their record, but whatever their records are, they're tied up in the group. Whoever loses is going home. Whoever wins will be advancing into the playoff brackets. Blink in. Here comes TA. Immediate blink away. Look at the reactions from Jay. Incredible reactions, but LBG, not so fortunate. Gets caught out. RR, is there a stun to help deal with him? There is not. So they get one pick. Is there buyback? If there's no buyback, No buyback. Just finished purchasing something. This might be Rax. This might be game. The lanes are not pushing fast enough. Mineski, they have to defend. They cannot just allow this Rax to take this much damage. But really, Doc is probably overextending. It looks like he gave the cheese to someone else. Did he give it to the Centaur? No. Who has that damn cheese? I guess he used it. Maybe he sold it. No, he just used it. The courier delivers the cheese, blinks it again, goes for more. Doa onto that Lycan. Out of control. Are they really beating a Lycan and a low druid this late? Keep in mind, they still haven't gotten Rax, and the bear is now bashing away. Boots of travel up. This is the Mineski way. Force them back. Now the bear onto TA. Really needs some backup. Here comes the fissure. Here comes the auto attack, the echo slam, the blink, and the stun. They get the kill. They defend the Rax, but that means they're not getting Rax in their own right. Can they just charge straight back down mid and get there in time? Lone Druid has to have buyback. No! No, he just bought the Boots of Travel. No buybacks. Oh, that could turn out to be the story of this game. Or maybe the story is Chemo, the captain for MSIevoGT, a solo kill in the Sand King, and that might be it. 4 heroes dead. Shackle not going to latch. Everybody barreling down mid. The Glyph of Fortification has been used. There is nothing standing between MSIevo and a championship, or not championship, excuse me, but and advancing in, except if they overextend for hero kills. If they just focus the damn Rax, I believe they can take this Rax, and once you get a couple sets of Rax up, even with Lycan, even with Lone Druid, Doc. It's Doc o'clock, which means time for some kills. Burrow strike in, Sand King on the run, Stomp not going to hit, and they finally get the Rax. Blinks in again, look at the blink daggers! I really want to watch this game. This entire fight in slow motion. The Aegis is still up. TA finally goes down, but she's already got a couple of kills. They got Rax. Is it enough? The Aegis comes back. Lycan chasing, but not really accomplishing too much. The traps, of course, will not slow Lycan in his ultimate form. They finally get Rax. They all live. There's 2 heroes dead for at least 20 seconds. 1 respawns right now. That's going to be the Lone Druid, which is a big hero to respawn. But I'm just not sure if he can really fight at this point. He might, his resurrection might be enough to force that. Completed Assault Cuirass picked up 4,000 gold on top of the Assault Cuirass, and Doc is the one who doesn't have a Midas. This is the hero on this team who doesn't have the item that gives you lots of extra gold simply for killing creeps. Mass Midas, guys. Apparently this is the way to do it, even when you get them at 30 minutes. I can tell you right now, every Pinoy pub game in Dota 1 for the next couple of weeks, if it didn't already have a lot of Midases, it will after this. And I love it. I really do. Midas is probably my personal favorite item because I like gold, guys. I like having big items. I like having lots of damage. And Midas is probably the best item to get you that if you're allowed to go unchecked. Now, of course, there's a lot of downsides. But they knew that Mineski wanted to farm. And this is, you know, it wasn't just the Midases, but it's just one part of the strategy. Okay, we'll let you farm, but we're going to get items that counter your Necrobook and the like it, and more importantly, perhaps, that let us stay in, do okay in a farm war. And then finding the pickoffs 35 to 17. I want to say the gold is not that one-sided. Doc, gotta be careful. He has buyback. There's your BKB. Trying to give chase. Maybe focusing the bear is the choice here. Can Lone Druid resummon? Most likely he can. No BKB charge forced out for nothing. In comes the backstab. Sand King, sight device. Chemo doing it with the solo kill again. Just finding Woots time and time again. Woots cannot be happy. Probably is Chemo's #1 enemy. Phase shift. Waiting for that blink out. Not going to be able to find it before step away. Instead, BKB and Lycan, immediate Ghost Scepter, completely negating that one. And TA kills off the Necronomicon minion. And now the chase goes the other way. Doa trying to blink in. Will he be able to find it? Uh-oh, Bane Hollow. This ult's going to end soon. Blink in, stun. The ult does end. And now Centaur pulled back. Centaur in a bit of a pickle. No, he'll be okay. Blink in, unstoppable. And this might be it. I think this is the tipping point, guys. While this was happening, the tier 3 took a fall bottom. Actually, I think it took a fall right before that last fight. But now they start working on the Rax. Creeps in the base. Everyone barreling down mid. MSIevo poised to knock out the fan favorite Mineski with some exceptional play. They went for the ganking lineup. Mineski went for the farming, the split pushing, and it just wasn't enough. It just was not enough. Doa, wicked sick. Doc playing so well, but Doa getting all the kills. Don't ask me how. And GG! GG! Coming out. MSIevo, hell of a performance from them. Godlike for Doa. MSI as a squad just played so well. They really earned this one. They really did. But give Mineski a lot of credit. They fought their hearts out. They refused to give up. They picked a lineup. They tried to execute a lineup that wanted to split push, a lineup that just wanted to spread the map and farm all day. They really tried to execute it to the best of their abilities, but the mass blink daggers, the multiple Midases to really counter the farming potential, and then of course just the better positioning, execution, team fights, and oh, by the way, it helps to be on the Scourge. It helps to get multiple Aegises and the cheese. But you know, let's not talk about this just being a Scourge victory. Look how fast he dies. That is one sad wolf. Everyone will disconnect now. So MSIevo are going to be the final team from this group to advance. Unfortunately, Mineski will be knocked out. They will be going home for this GST, but let's see if they can turn things around in the October GST. But for now, September GST, it's MSIevoGT, a well-deserved victory, team wipe, and now they're going to kill the throne, or the world tree. Now they're going to move on to the knockout brackets, and we all know anything can happen there. MSIevoGT, they've won 2 GESTs so far, and that was a couple of months ago. They have not really been as sharp as of late, but hey, they're in the knockout brackets. Anything can happen there. And who knows, maybe they'll bring home that third. Maybe it'll be the trifecta for them. Maybe it'll be their third GST championship. We'll find out tomorrow, guys. But that does it for today. Mineski knocked out of the tournament, MSIevoGT. My hat's off to them. They played exceptionally well. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed my commentary. I am LD of dotacommentaries.com. If you did, I'm going to shamelessly ask that you follow me. Facebook.com/LDdota, Twitter.com/LDdota. And of course, for the VODs for this match, as well as many of the others from earlier today, and the matches to come tomorrow, YouTube.com/LDdota. I will be back tomorrow, or yeah, I guess technically it's tomorrow, although it's really only about 12, no, more like 14 hours away or so. Coming to you guys with the knockout brackets, the second day of GEST IDC September action. Really excited to be able to bring those matches to you, but for now, that's going to do it. I'll hang out in the chat for a little bit while making the VODs. Again, thank you all so much for tuning in. Follow me if you enjoyed. But that wraps it up for today's action. And I feel it's time for a pretty fun song that I personally love to play. So here we go. This one's for MSIevoGT.